So I'm here with Sydney Tanner, right, of JPW Realty,
Yes.
solo agent. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
So you are not a brand new real estate agent, but you're new to Minnesota. Okay. So tell me a little bit about your journey, how you got and came to Minnesota and being a real estate agent.
Yeah, so I first got licensed in 2023, and I grew up with no family that were realtors, no friends that were realtors, and so the idea of being a real estate agent was not even on the table when I graduated college. And I actually did an internship out in Hawaii, and my Bible study leader, he was a realtor. And so I was picking his brain one day, and I was like, well, maybe when I leave Hawaii, like, I would consider this. Yeah. And I moved back in with my parents after that and got my license and was like, this is awesome, but this is really freaking hard. And I think I learned a lot in those first 6 months of doing real estate. And then I got married, and my husband's like, let's move to Dallas and, start a life there. He got a job offer there. So I was like, okay, I'm not that far into real estate, so I'll pause.
Well, we moved for love or money.
Yep, love or money. So I was like, let's, pause. I can always come back. And so in that time in Dallas, I really got to process and think through my first 6 months in real estate, which isn't long, right?
No,
but I, even in that time through my transactions, was able to see, I think I would do things differently if I went back to real estate. And so coming back in 2025, it was a really great opportunity to put into action all of those thoughts of how do I want to do it my way, like the Sydney Tanner real estate experience, versus something, that it was before when I was new.
Yeah. So you took 6 months and almost broke down your business and say, okay, where are my priorities? What do I like to do? What do I do not like? And then when you came back to Minnesota this year.
Yes.
All right. So anyone out there that's brand new in real estate, or even maybe they are moving and relocating to a new market, what was your game plan, your goal setting, or your plan of attack coming into a new market, pretty new into the real estate world?
Yeah, I think my biggest thing was I wanted to join a brokerage that could really support me. And for me, that was a ton of marketing. And so JPW, not to plug them or anything, but they were amazing. And they stood out to me amidst all these other brokerages I re-interviewed in the process because it was very personal, small knit community, which I loved, and really focused on marketing. I mean, we have Andy here who's incredible. And just to have someone help with all your social media questions, marketing needs, positioning on your branding is so beyond useful when you're especially starting out solo. But I would say coming into a new market, I was actually thinking about this the other day on a drive. I think a person could restart successfully in any market if they leverage their social media, and it's a market there's a lot of new young people moving to, because I've found through TikTok and Instagram, I'll just post videos of me chit-chatting about different things, and I get so many of my clients through that, and they're amazing. And I feel like, I don't know if it's the algorithm or, TikTok being like, these people, would get along, but my TikTok clients are amazing and really great friends of mine now. So I feel so lucky that I get to help them in their home search process.
I love that. So you were actually helping the Pomerleau team with our social media.
Yes.
Right. So granted, we're marginal at best, and we're like, okay, we're seeking out some help and we want to be more, present, if you will. And when we found, that's how we got connected, right? Yeah. And so you're working with us as a, what would you call that, contract basis?
Social media manager.
Yeah, and every Tuesday you do our team meeting with us and kind of give a little tidbit. So I'm super appreciative of what you brought here, even as to JPW, but to the team as well. So you came here, though, you had a following on Instagram. How was your TikTok or your Facebook, or do you primarily focus on the Instagram and TikTok?
Yeah. So I predominantly, when I first moved back to Minnesota, focused on Instagram. And then I was like, well, I should, if I'm really going all in on real estate, should really do TikTok as well. So I started doing TikTok, and I only have 1,000 followers on TikTok, but I have actually, weirdly enough, found that all of my leads from social media have come through TikTok and not as much on Instagram.
Interesting.
So that's interesting. I'm not sure if it's the algorithm or that TikTok is a little less formal and polished, and so people like those more just talking head videos of you talking about the market. Or right now I'm doing I started a day one of finding my next client on TikTok, and then
I love that.
The next day, and I'm on day 26, and I've gotten a handful of messages of people being like, I'm looking to buy in a year, and I'm like, great, let's grab coffee and chat about it.
And these are people that are in Minnesota or relocating to Minnesota or?
Both, yeah.
Both.
So I'm just closing on a deal with some clients from Chicago.
Okay.
So that's relocation. And, for them, like they're roughly my age, maybe a couple years older, they're on social media. And so for them to find an agent that they feel like they would mesh well with, I'm like, TikTok is so our generation that, going on Yelp might not be
the same.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So your 1,000 followers on TikTok is actually breeding more results than your 30,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah, that's what I found personally.
Okay, and maybe that's the reach, going out further past, I don't know. Yeah, algorithm, like you said. Who knows? So when they just message you and say, hey, I'm looking to buy a home in a year. Can I ask you this question? Or what does that interaction typically look like?
Yeah, I usually tell people in my videos, like, send me a message, like, let's grab coffee and chat about, like, your timeline and helping you get resources so like, you're set up for success before we start the home search journey. And so a lot of times they'll just message me and they're like, hey, like, would love to grab coffee or chat or call, looking to buy, in March or looking to buy this fall. And so some are a lot quicker, like some are like, I want to buy now. And then some are like in a year.
So what advice would you give somebody so they're starting out in real estate and you found success with social media? And for example, TikTok, what would be your plan, if you will, for somebody that had started a TikTok today, they have no followers, no information, but they have to do their first video?
Yeah.
What information would you provide them that say, this is what you should do?
Yeah, I'd say first seek discomfort because it's so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable, like posting your face. I've been doing it for years, so it's like second nature for me. But I mean, even working with your team, I see so many people stepping out of their comfort zone, recording these videos of themselves talking. And so I would say a plan for success, if you are starting out on social media looking for leads, would be post at least once a day on TikTok. If not, they say the best success is 3 to 4 times a day. It can seem crazy because you're like, who has time for that? But if you just set an alarm, that could be doable. I also saw some guy say every time you open the app, post. Like make it a just like something response. Quick. Right. Like you are going on the app, you have to post to then like scroll. And so I thought that was good too, of like you have to have an action in place to then enjoy the app.
Yeah.
So posting as much as you can. I find that when I'm consistently posting is when I get the most messages. And then when I'm not, I'm not.
It's so weird how that works.
Crazy.
The consistency of it matters.
Yeah.
Well, as someone that's been on TikTok for a while, and I started a separate TikTok not too long ago, that you get stuck a little bit, like 100 views, 300 views, right. 400 views, 700 views, 100. Like it doesn't, to get over that 1,000 actually is pretty substantial when you're starting, and so it just kind of like a deterrent, like, well, this isn't working for me. I did 30 videos, I should stop.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, Andy actually helped on a video. We did one, and it was a clip from the podcast. We have like 70,000 views. I ended up getting 300 followers from this one video.
Oh my gosh.
And so you just stay consistent with it. And that came from uncomfortable.
Yes.
100%. Like I don't like sitting here and feeling all this, natural energy, like this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
But I want to help people, and I appreciate you being here and helping.
Yeah, and I would say follow what works. I know on my personal Instagram, like there was a certain type of video that really helped grow my account. Every time I post content like that, my account and those videos have the most traction because that's the community of people I built my personal account around. And then I think for the real estate TikTok account I have, same thing. Like when I saw traction and movement over the day one of finding my next TikTok client on, this app, or next real estate client on TikTok, I saw like it was getting a lot of traction, and a lot of other agents in other places in the U.S. were like, "Oh my gosh, like this is such a great idea! I want to do this." It is a good idea. And so then I see other agents do it, and it obviously doesn't affect me. Like I'm happy for them that they're using this idea to get more business for themselves. And so just posting consistently is the key.
Okay. Well, real estate is competition and camaraderie.
Yeah.
It's so hard. And the failure rate is super high that we have to find ways to help each other. Otherwise, it's unfortunate because a lot of good agents that would really help their clients won't be able to make it.
Right.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Okay, so Instagram, 30,000 followers. That's more than a lot of people out there. Tell us a little bit how that came to be, and maybe your Instagram plan, and is that any different than your TikTok plan?
Yes, and I've actually pivoted in the past 2 months a little bit on how I'm positioning that. But when I first started my personal Instagram, it's Sydney _Tanner, if anyone wants to go check it out.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. Get that in there.
I started posting a lot about more my like personal like faith life, and that I think resonated a lot with people, and that was in November of 2024. In November, December, January, I mean, my account was growing by thousands. Like it was insane.
Wow.
I could refresh and like hundreds of people were following me at a time. And then in February, I moved back to Minnesota, and I was like, oh, I'll just add real estate as one of my content pillars and like mix this in. But what I found is that Twin Cities real estate is so niche, right? Like that is such a niche market that my broad audience that I grew of all these people that are maybe like similar to me in like their walk with the Lord, or, you know, their age or whatever they relate to me on, you know, they're not in the Twin Cities most likely, like looking in this market. So I actually found there was like kind of a like plateau and then a little bit of a decrease in growth, because I think people were like, I'm not following this girl for real estate. I'm following her for her lifestyle and faith. Yes.
Whatever else. Yep.
So recently I started a new Instagram account because I found that Instagram's a lot harder to grow on than TikTok. And so I started a new real estate account that's like so specific, Twin Cities real estate. So I've been slowly growing that, but obviously the more accounts you have, the harder it is to manage, and it's already a lot to manage a post so many times on so many accounts. So my biggest thing now is really just feeding my real estate TikTok account, because that's where the leads are coming from, and, you know, follow success, right? Like if I'm getting night and night, like, you know, day over night, like more leads over there, like why put as much effort over here? Not saying success can't come from this, but for me, I've seen a lot more success from TikTok. So it just,
and that is the exact opposite of what I would have guessed. Right. So I think that's really valuable information. And say, well, she's got 30,000 followers.
Yeah.
That this makes everything easy. It's like, no, it actually didn't. And your business came from when you started something from scratch on a whole nother platform. And have 10% of the followers or whatever it is.
And this was interesting. The 2 clients that I have gotten from my personal Instagram account, they found me for the faith content before the real estate.
Got it.
So then they followed me for the faith content, and then they were like, oh, like I am looking for, you know, to buy a house, like, oh, I'll use this girl. And so I thought that was very interesting as well. And now they're like 2 of my best friends, which is so fun. But just, it's interesting how the algorithm, you know, gets people to your account.
Well, you're attracting your tribe, right? Who you want to hang out with, and they're friends now because they follow the same path as you in a lot of ways outside of real estate.
Right.
And they just happen to want to buy at the time or sell or whatever it was. So I think that's that's good information there, is don't try to be something you're not.
Right.
Be authentic in who you are on whatever platform you are, and find your tribe.
Right.
And if it takes a while, it takes a while.
Yes. And you want to work with people that are like your people.
Yes.
And I've been so blessed that since coming back in February, all of my clients, I've had almost all of them over for dinner with my husband. And because they're people I truly love being around and spending time with. And I was at a mentor's house, and she said her motto for the year was like to break bread with her friends and family more. And I loved that, because having people into your home is very like intimate and personal.
Very much, yeah.
And to give that opportunity to your clients of like, hey, like I'm human too. Like, yes, we're in a transaction together and we're doing, you know, business, but like at the end of the day, we're just all people. And I want my clients to know like I'm their friend above all else, and like someone that they can confide in.
Well, it's interesting you say that too, is I've read numerous things that making friends right now is harder than it's ever been, and mainly due to technology, right? Is that we actually prefer scrolling over face-to-face interactions sometimes.
Right.
So when you take that intimacy into a home for dinner, a lot of people, if you don't have a good, strong relationship, feel very uncomfortable.
Yes.
So how did you build that relationship? Was it just instantaneously good to go, or did it take time? Or if someone is looking to build that type of like friendship with people,
I think it takes time. I think it'd be weird first time meeting my client.
Come over for dinner.
Hey, you want Chick-fil-A tonight? Yeah, like it'd be weird. And I think it's also feel like some of my clients I don't think would actually like to come over for dinner.
Yeah.
So I don't have
Read
them.
the room, right?
Also, my husband's there, and so I want him to enjoy his time too. So if I, you know, meet the husband in the transaction and I'm like, hey, I don't know if like they would vibe, I'm like, oh, well, maybe grab coffee or something. And it's more just like me and them. But for the most part, I feel like it's just intentionality. And they mention like, oh, their plans for the weekend, and checking in on them. And, you know, they mentioned something hard that happened in their lives, checking in how they're doing. I had a client that was on their way back from their grandma's funeral. And so it's like taking that time, like maybe writing them a card, like giving them a gift card. Hey, grab coffee. Like, I'm sure you're really tired this week. Like, you know, just spend some time thinking about that person.
That's so powerful, and that how you made that person feel was something so simple. That's huge.
And I think that like little gestures like a gift card or whatnot to like, go a long way.
Yeah. And you didn't do that for real estate. You did that because you wanted to be a nice person and they needed some help.
Yes, of course. And it's like coming out of my own pocket, right? Like
of course.
Not, I think, real estate agents can sometimes be a little like pocketed with their money. Yep. And I think the more you give, the more you receive. And so.
Well, I'm a big believer that if you want abundance, give. And if you just stay and like hold on tight, right?
Yeah.
And nothing flows in, it just gets icky.
Yeah. And I find too, like I love working with first time home buyers. Like I love educating them on the process, and there's just so many questions and so much newness. And I feel like making that process as special as possible for them, like finding ways to just elevate it to a new level. So I always give my clients, once we're under contract and through inspection, I give them like a $20 coffee gift card to a local coffee shop in their new neighborhood. And I write them a card saying like, go dream like about your new house, and like go like spend date. Like I really want my clients like go on dates, right? Like go like love your person and spend time dreaming about like this new chapter of your life. And I think it just makes it really special for them too, because they get to have like that opportunity to do that.
So let's go really granular, really simple. So you said, hey, let's go have coffee. First time home buyer. What do you talk about when you're sitting down face to face, first interaction, right? You sit down, then what?
Yeah.
Right. What questions are you asking a first time home buyer? Or anybody, right? Talk us through that process.
Yeah, usually when I sit down with them before we get into like, I think it's really easy to just jump in and be like, how many beds and baths do you want? Like what neighborhoods, what
that's
cities?
What I'm trying to get avoided.
Yeah, I think before I do that, I'm just like, how are you guys? Like, tell me a little bit about your story. Like, where are you guys coming from? Like, I met this one couple, like she was in the military. He met her when she was, active duty, and I was like, tell me about that. Like, they met through a friend and all of that. Just, I think I don't like to like dig into people's careers, but it is like an easy question. Like, what do you guys do for work? Tell me about your hobbies, your passions. Because also when you learn about a person's hobbies and passions, where they like to grocery shop, you can better niche down what, neighborhood and like city they should target if they're especially a first-time home buyer and a little unsure. So I think the more you learn about your clients beforehand is the most valuable thing you can do for them and to make them feel seen and heard.
Well, the best interactions that I have almost have nothing to do with real estate, or very little. 95.5. Right. So it sounds like that's what your approach is as well.
Yeah.
It's just to get to know them on a personal level.
Right.
Because people love shopping with homes with friends.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And feel that you have made a connection.
Yeah. And then obviously getting into the fun part of, okay, so like how many beds and baths do we want? Like how many square footage? Like is there anything that's, a want over a need that would be like up above and beyond that we can try and see if we can make it happen. Hearing people dream is really powerful, and caring. I think it's just more than anything, just caring like about what they're saying.
So if they're dreaming too big, how do you bring that back to planet Earth? Because I think that's a real thing, right? Like dream, but stay within the confines of this bucket here.
I want a 10,000 square foot house for $400,000. You're like, okay.
All right.
I usually
found that in 1978.
Yeah. I tell my clients like honesty and transparency is one of my like leading things for them with the whole transaction. And so I have had some times where my soon-to-be clients on their first meeting will say, oh, I really like want 6 bedrooms, something like kind of out there that's like not in their budget. Or I want a pool, but I have 300,000, and I'm like, it's not like it couldn't happen, but just to be real with you and have like clear expectations, like it might be unlikely. And I was like, I always tell them I'm going to search for it and like see if there's anything off market too, but I also want your expectations and like what's going to be realistic in our minds.
Yeah. It's hard as a first-time home buyer for a few reasons. One, the affordability right now is really difficult. You need 2 buyers for most situations to even buy a starter home, which is $400,000 to $500,000, which is crazy. Yes, you can go cheaper than that, and yes, it's possible. But how do you manage expectations, like financial expectations, when someone sits down with you?
Yeah. Are you saying like how much they can afford?
Well, they afford, or do you talk them through the financial process? Do you actually refer it off to somebody, or the pre-approval stuff versus cash? Like, I don't know, just the financial side of it.
Yeah, I always tell them I am not a financial expert, and I have an amazing team that I work with and, referral partners. So I always send them after a meeting a PDF with all the different mortgage lenders that I love working with, that I know that when I send it to them, they hype me up to my soon to be clients as well, because it's like a partnership. Why would I send off my clients to a mortgage lender that has no idea who I am and is like, oh yeah, Sydney's fine, should I get the job done? But I send off my people to mortgage lenders that are like, oh my gosh, you're working with Sydney, that's amazing, because I want my clients to feel confident in choosing me. But I usually let the financial lender meet with them, and all of my clients call me after and say, oh my gosh, this person was so helpful. I'm so glad you referred me, because a lot of them come to me and they have no idea who to meet with, or they're meeting with, uncle of an uncle,
or they go to Lending Tree.
Which is not a bad idea.
Or Lending Tree, and they get 58 calls and they don't know who they're working with. And that's the reason I asked the question a little bit too, is that is such an intricate part of the buying process. Yes. And the number one problem area that I get is the lender. So it's the same thing. If you have your team of people, there's a reason that we recommend these people, and it's not financial gain.
Yes. And I'm thankful when I moved back, I got lunch with one of the top producing agents here in the Twin Cities, and she told me one shot, each professional has one shot. If they drop the ball, you will probably not be referring another client to them. And I think that is so true. And 100%. The mortgage lenders that are on that document, I keep very close to me. If somebody drops the ball, which none of them have, they're amazing. No fear. Yeah. That's a decision I have to make for my own business, as I want my clients to feel confident in that. And I always tell my clients too, go with somebody that you really like their personality, because you'll be talking to them a lot about the finances, somebody that's super educational. You can understand the process. You're not nothing's wrong with Rocket Mortgage, but if you're signing with Rocket Mortgage, you're not going to be having someone walking you probably step by step through the in-depth intricacies of your loan terms.
Correct.
And I also tell them sometimes your loan, you might get a better offer from who knows where.
Or an appearance of a better offer.
Right.
Too. Not always even is.
But the underwriting and who knows what's in that loan. But I say it is so important to close on time. The last thing you want is for your closing to be pushed, or for last minute hurdles or stressors to come up. So sometimes it is better to go with somebody that's giving you just a little bit, quote unquote, worse of terms, or not as good, you could say, and have that confidence knowing we're going to get to close. This is the dream team that we have.
I love that. If you don't close on time, and a lot of lenders just oh, we're not going to be able to close on Friday.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Right. So that's not a thing.
Yeah.
No, we just can't make it. We missed the deadline. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
And that just does that. That's easy for them to say, but how many people that interrupts?
Oh my gosh.
Using the lenders that recommend, big deal. As somebody newer to Minnesota, how did you find those people for
Yeah, that's a
How did
good question.
that come up?
One of them was a family friend.
Okay.
And I used him in 2023 with some of my transactions. So I called him back up when I was back in town. I was like, hey, would you be open to being on my preferred lender list? He's like, of course. And then the other two, one was a referral from another friend. She's like, you should, meet with Josh. He's incredible. So I grabbed coffee with him, and I was like, yep, he's awesome. He would definitely jive with a lot of my clients, or who I proposed to be my clients. And then the other person was a referral from my mentors. And it's interesting, almost all my clients choose, Jennifer Butcher, I'll say her name.
Sure.
She's amazing.
She is amazing. I know. I watch her social media.
Yeah. And she, more than anything, I think gives my clients a ton of confidence in their financial decisions, and is very truthful with them about this is what we can do for terms. And she usually can get an amazing rate, which I really appreciate.
Oh, yeah. With affordability being a struggle, and the terms are a big deal. But also the terms in a way that matches the buyer correctly.
Right.
Hey, you should do a buy down. Well, maybe you shouldn't, right? So having somebody that is authentically an advisor role, that is actually going to look out the big picture here and guide you through it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So who else do you recommend when you're talking to a first-time home buyer? Or does it kind of the mortgage lender, and then they just kind of find everything else, or do you kind of keep your team a little bit deeper, a little bit wider?
Yeah, kind of both. I always send them the preferred lenders right away, because I say
on a sheet of paper, a list.
It's a PDF that I've created. It has their headshot of the lender, their email, phone number, like a little bit about them. And it just says like, I love working with these professionals. I've worked with all of them, so I know they can get the deal done. And like my clients have had really great experiences with them. So I always send the preferred lender list, and I basically just tell my clients, this is your homework. Like you need to either reach out to one of these people or somebody else, because getting pre-approved is like, this needs to be done before we search for homes. Like it's my non-negotiable. Because I always tell them like, you don't want to be in a position where you find your dream home, you're ready to put in an offer, and we're delayed and we miss out because of something that could have been avoided. So that's always the homework for them. And then once an offer is made and accepted, I always tell them like, I have an amazing title company that I love to work with. You're always welcome to use your own partners and who you want to use, but I really love my title company. And like when my clients,
too. Maybe it's the same one. I really love my title company.
When my clients are like, we want to use my dad's brother's friend, I'm like,
who's an attorney?
Okay, great. Like perfect. And they're like taking 3 days to respond to my emails. And I'm like, I pray that this closing happens.
Yeah. Good thing you have the faith.
Yeah.
It takes it a long way in real estate.
Yeah. So yeah, I always really try to encourage my clients to use my title company, but it's up to them.
It's up to them. It is up to them. So let me go back to kind of earning business and finding business. Is there anything else outside of social media that you've done, tried, failed, or has had success with?
Ooh.
I kind of want the failure ones if you have any.
Yeah. For a little bit, I tried like Pinterest.
Okay.
Because Pinterest is one of the leading search engines. Jenna Kutcher, she's like a huge business guru up in Duluth, Minnesota.
Yep.
She like preaches Pinterest. I personally haven't found much success from that, so I don't know about that. That was kind of a fail. And just so basically for me, I give things a couple months, which maybe I should give them longer. And if it doesn't work, or if I don't see any leads, I'm like, okay, go to the thing that's giving me the leads and really pour my heart into that, which has been my TikTok. Another thing I did, because all seasoned agents told me to do this, they were like, open houses. They were like, you have to do open houses 2-3 a weekend. And so starting out for months, I did that, and it was fine. But I also feel like as a female, it can be a little scary. So my husband would come and camp out in the kitchen, just like set up his computer while I was there. And I personally, I don't know if it's like just my personality. No. Like I'm not much of a chameleon, but I didn't find much success from that personally. So I was like, I'd rather post my face 20 times a day on TikTok and my clients reach out to me than, and I have nothing wrong with picking up the phone and calling, but I just personally with open houses didn't find much success. And for me, like my time and is very valuable, just like everyone else. And so I wanted to do the thing that was giving me the leads.
Well, you found something that worked for you that you enjoyed doing.
Yes.
There's a big lesson in that.
Yes.
Because I've found people that love open houses. It is their most favorite thing to do on the planet. And they actually do them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Right? It's not about what good or bad. It's about what you're willing to do and that you actually enjoy. Yes. And you'll have a longer, stick to it.
Yes.
Point. So for you found social media successful. So double down, triple down, quadruple down. What if somebody came to you and said, hey, you should try this new lead source? Or there's 15 shiny objects that people new to this business get bombarded with every single day. Yeah. Buy my leads, buy my software, buy my technology, buy my AI. What has been your blinders or your intrigue with stuff like that?
Yeah. So when I first started out, my mentors here at JPW were like, okay, you have your three buckets that you're going to be pulling leads from. Like, what are those? And I said, social media, sphere, and open houses. And then once open houses were not doing much for me, I was like, maybe I'll do calling. Like I'll do give me the list and I'll go down the line. And then my mentor was like, you totally can do that. But one, I think you need to put more time into open houses. And two, I think that he's like, do you know that you have to pay, to get these phone numbers and such? And I was like, oh no, I don't. And I don't really want to pocket any money out right now. So for me, I was like, I think that was really helpful to have someone that's been in the industry a lot longer be like, hey, I totally understand how that can seem incentivizing to you, but maybe just think on it a little longer, because maybe your open houses aren't working, but maybe something else could that doesn't cost money as much. So that's what I'd say. I think it's easy. I remember when I first started in real estate in 2023, there was this new app that came out, and they would if you were the first to accept the call, you got the lead, and then if it went through, they took 70% or something crazy. And I was like, perfect. Like, let's do it. And my team leader at the time was like, I think that's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And, you know, it seems easier because you're like, oh, they're coming to me, they're calling me. But I think time and time again, it's, yeah, like you said, finding the thing that you enjoy, pouring your heart into that. People see your heart in things, and just trusting that like things pay off. My mentors also told me when I first started there, they said, what you do today will pay off in 6 months. So just stay consistent, don't get defeated, like stay super positive and optimistic. And I would say that's so true.
Oh, 100%. And 6 months might even be too short. But that's where we lose a lot of agents is, I need a paycheck today.
Yeah.
So they want to try to find the easy button, you know. And if the easy button was out there, right? Trust me, I would have found it. Because I look high and low, it's not there, right? It is consistency, time over task. So if somebody had no sphere, you know, quote unquote no sphere.
Right.
One, I don't believe that everybody has a sphere database of people, whether it's a wedding list or a Google account or everybody on your phone, right? You can pull it from your phone and put it on a PDF. So, but what would you say to somebody that says, I'm new to real estate, I don't have a sphere?
Yeah.
But 80% of all real estate transactions in the United States are done by sphere and referrals.
Yeah. I would say, what's your hobbies? And then go find a club.
Yeah.
Because my faith is very important to me. So I got super plugged in at my church and like the young adult group there. And I haven't seen any business come from it, but I've made really good connections and conversations. And people are like, oh, like, you know, down the road, like I'll definitely, you know, send you a message. Will they? I don't know. But I think it's just building that community and that network for yourselves. And at these, especially if you're a young professional, there are so many young professional networking events. Like there's like, girls love walking, and so they'll like grab coffees and go on walks. And so there's all these walk clubs now where girls will go
walking clubs,
grab coffee, meet new friends, and walk. And if you're a new agent in a new city, oh my gosh, go yap it up with all of them and like make it a goal, like 10 new conversations. It doesn't mean you have to like shove real estate down people's throats, but it's just like being relational and personal. And I find too at the gym, like I'm at the gym every day. So we just moved to a new gym actually. And so my goal now is every day, just introduce myself to 2 new people, to have familiar faces and build that relationship. Because some of my deals this year have come from our previous gym we were at. And we never talked about real estate. It was just that they liked me and trust me. So that's how the deal came.
Well, and it's acting out of abundance too, because how many times at that gym or wherever you're at and said, oh, I will definitely use you when I'm ready. And then you find out they use somebody else. Yeah. Right? How do you emotionally go through that, or like how you handle that?
Yeah. It can be hard, but yeah, there's business for everyone. I have to remind myself, and I want everyone to feel comfortable in their transaction. So if for some reason that person doesn't feel comfortable using a friend in their real estate transaction, then like I can respect that, you know. Like, do I disagree? Yeah, 100%. Like, I think they'd have a way more fun time with me. And
I would agree with that. Like, your loss.
Same with family. Like, I think family, of course, but you know, everyone has different comfort levels with how they do business. Yeah. And so I'm like, yeah, I try to not get too hung up on it. Because it happens to everyone. It's
good. And if it hasn't happened, it will happen.
Yes.
It's very difficult. But I've seen a lot of like, all right, business is not for me. After, you know, they're one of their best friends buys or sells or something with somebody else. This is a very thick-skinned business. It's very difficult, right? And you can't just give up, or you can't just like take anything too personally.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
And when one door closes, 3 more open. You just have to be like patient and look for it.
Well, you trust that there's a lot of, like, you trust your mentors. You trusted the people that you talked to when you came here. And there has been success with these people. Yep. And there is clues that are left behind. Oftentimes in this business, we are operating on faith. That's it. Because somebody did it one time, one way, and you just go and copy it. I'm a big proponent of find somebody a mentor, someone that's done it, grab the coattails and copy it if it matches who you are as an agent.
Yes, 100%. Like someone that you can humbly come to and be like, SOS, I don't know what this means, or what would you do in this situation? And I'm so thankful to have mentors that I can text and say, okay, this is what I'm thinking. Is this right in this situation? Or, you know, what could I have done better? Or how could I add value here for my clients?
And I truly believe like, I think people get scared to go to mentors or find people. The more successful they are, the more likely they will be willing to help.
Yes.
That has been my experience.
Yeah.
So try to find someone at the brokerage, somebody in this business before you come in, and that's doing it at a very high level, and latch on, ask them for help, ask them to coffee, whatever it takes, and listen.
That's great advice.
Yeah. So if somebody wanted to reach out and find you, one, for social media help,
Yeah.
two, for real estate,
Yep.
how would they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Cindy_Tanner. That's my personal account. I would obviously respond to your DMs if you message me about real estate. Otherwise, Cindy Sells MSP is my TikTok and my Instagram account for real estate as well. So send me a message or an email, whatever works. Let's grab coffee. I love coffee. I've probably tried every coffee shop in the Twin Cities. So truly can give you recommendations, or you can be the picker of wherever we go.
Love it. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank
I
you,
think this
Matt.
was really helpful.